click away. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com. There's nothing better than learning from the experts, especially when it comes to investing your hard-earned money.
Hi, this is Phil Grande, host of Phil's Gang Radio Show. At Phil's Gang and philsgang.com, I have one goal in mind: to help you become a skilled investor in the stock market and find your financial freedom. With the Working Investor Program, you will learn what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. You'll develop skills like selling short and how to profit, even in a stock market crash. This is the real world investing information that will give you the edge to be successful in the stock market. No gimmicks, just real strategies, and I'll make the offer even better with a 10-day free trial of the Working Investor Program.
Once you're in the gang, you're in the know. And with the free 10-day trial of the Working Investor Program, there's no reason not to give it a try.
Become a Phil's Gang member and reclaim your financial freedom. Go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
What are you, nuts? 85% of the people do not know how to get out of the market. They lose money because they don't know when to get out. I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I solved that with my Pro 2 color-coded chart. It tells you when to get out. Tells you when to get in, tells you what to add, not to add. Specifically, when do I get out? It tells you that. Check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Get your 10-day free trial of my Pro 2 color-coded chart and a membership. Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
We've maintained the strong job market, easing prices, rising real wages, and now we've got this stock market result, which I would argue is no accident. It's based on an economy that has continued to defy expectations, and probably some pretty good expectations about future growth, including productivity.
Wow, he's right about that. It's been no accident. That's correct. All you need is a crooked Federal Reserve that needs to be abolished. Of course it was no accident. Think about it. If you had legal money, or let's say you had a printing machine that the government made legal, and they sanctioned it for you as a legal printing machine, how could you lose $1 trillion a year? How? Think about that. The government calls you, hey, I got a printing machine here just for you, nobody else in the United States. You can print all the money you want. And then you call back, say, I need some money from the Fed because we lost $1 trillion. How can you lose $1 trillion when you have endless money? It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's just crazy. Now, he's right, not by accident. The Fed printed $8 trillion since August 2008 to where we are today to shore up the banks so that the banks could stay alive to provide the zero interest money that's being printed, given to the banks. So the banks then can feed that money to CEOs. And then the CEOs could take that money, purchase their own stock, to then move stock prices up without having profits. I mean, think about it. Yeah, he's right. It's no accident, the stock market rally. And that's why today, it was funny, on Friday, I said to actually the day before Friday, on Thursday, I said to my gang, I said, make sure we just stay in our power stocks. Here's what I said to them. Now, this was right before the rally. See, these stocks, power stocks, where there's no sellers above you, that's where you want to be. That's where you want to be, right there. Right, you want to be in what they call power stocks, stocks that have very few sellers above them. Example, a power stock is our Microsoft. Or let's take the spiders, the S&P. We purchased the spiders. We had a buy signal on the spiders on November 13th. And we've been in the spiders ever since. So we have now about, I think, a 12% return. And then, of course, that includes the breakout we had on Friday. In fact, if you look at the S&P, I told my members that we had this sideways consolidation, which started on December 13th. It wasn't going anywhere, okay? The high was staying at around, about 478, and the low was staying around somewhere around approximately around 468. And that started really, if you think about it, that started back in, back in December 15th. And then I kept telling them, look, just stay with it. If it breaks out to the upside, we'll be fine. Then we'll start adding to it. But if it breaks down below the low, we'll sell it short. Either way, it's money in the bank. And, of course, we had that rally on Friday. And then take Microsoft. That was another one of our power stocks. Same thing, but we got into Microsoft not Friday, not Thursday, and everybody else. You should be in these stocks before this rally. If you're chasing this rally, you're going to get in trouble. I told everybody, you watch. This was at the end of the day Friday. I said, what they're going to do is they're going to try to rally this market for a couple days. They always do that. If you take a look at every rally we had going back to 2022, when it reaches a peak, the market makers know that there's a whole bunch of people around. We call them tourist investors, where they buy stocks all the time, right at the very, very top. And so they can expand the rally for 2 or 3 days. The market makers will go in there, right, and accommodate these people. They come and start buying right at the top, and they get about 2 days, 3 days, and then it gets a correction about maybe 5%, 7%. Sometimes it crashes, and people always wonder, well, what happened? I just got in and went down. I mean, these people that are buying the market right now, if you bought Microsoft on Friday or you're buying it today, you got to be nuts. We bought it on October 26th. We added to our position on January 10th. You have to be in these things before this occurs. The other stock there, remember, we only had Microsoft and NVIDIA, okay? That's what really created this rally. Microsoft, NVIDIA, let's see what else, Meta. So we only had a handful of stocks. Let me look at it. We have Apple, Microsoft, and we had Meta and NVIDIA. Only 4 stocks, 4 tech stocks. And besides those 4, we had JP Morgan and GE. So 6 stocks out of 500 stocks rally this market. What are you, nuts? So you always have to be in the markets early. And the people that are jumping in now are going to get clobbered. JP Morgan is another one. JP Morgan, we bought JP Morgan back on, we had a buy signal on November 16th. Our chart turned from red to green, which is a buy signal. And then it's backed up by what we call a stochastic. And we got in about that day, that was around 150. And we're still in it today around 170. and that was approximately around about 13-14%. And then GE, that's another power stock. Power stocks means you're getting into a stock where all the sellers are behind you. They're not above you. And that's what you want to do when you're in these big markets like this that are way overpriced, that any moment can turn on you. So, but again, you have to get in when nobody wanted these stocks. So GE, that was another one. GE, we got in GE around November 10th again. We're still in it today around 131, although we took a lot of profits on these stocks. You know, Microsoft, NVIDIA, JP Morgan, GE. So, again, the problem is that we have, if you go back and take a look at what's going on here, what he says is right, that, yeah, there's no accident. This whole rally from 2008 till Friday has been propped up, pushed up, printed up. The Fed printed $8 trillion in August of 2008 after the market crash to shore up the banks, to make sure they didn't go out of business, so they could go and print more, then to get their printing machine, print more money, and then they go buy treasuries, make sure the interest rates go down to zero. Then they give the money, they print more money, give it to the banks. Now they're alive, keep them alive, and then the banks can take the money and give it to the CEOs of these crooked companies, and the CEOs, instead of using the money as we were promised, remember, we were promised by Obama and Bernanke, we're going to take all that money and they're going to give it to the CEOs for business investment. Business investment. It was a bold-faced lie. Didn't go into business investment. It went to stock buybacks. They bought their own stocks. It's called prosperity without profits. That's what QE is. And they also printed money to purchase from Wall Street banks, not only their treasuries and their mortgage-backed securities, they just used all this cash to bail out these banks instead of letting them go down. This has never been fixed. It's never been fixed. So what do we do now? Is the market going to continue to go higher and just keep going up for another 14 years? Well, we'll talk about that when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. There's nothing better than learning from the experts, especially when it comes to investing your hard-earned money.
Hi, this is Phil Grande, host of Phil's Gang Radio Show. At Phil's Gang and philsgang.com, I have one goal in mind: to help you become a skilled investor in the stock market and find your financial freedom. With the Working Investor Program, you will learn what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. You'll develop skills like selling short and how to profit, even in a stock market crash. This is the real world investing information that will give you the edge to be successful in the stock market. No gimmicks, just real strategies, and I'll make the offer even better with a 10-day free trial of the Working Investor Program.
Once you're in the gang, you're in the know. And with the free 10-day trial of the Working Investor Program, there's no reason not to give it a try.
Become a Phil's Gang member and reclaim your financial freedom. Go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, I'm going to go over this rally with you, and then I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. But first of all, you got to remember, when we had this rally, as I said, the stocks that created the rally on Friday, you had to be into those stocks early. And we were in those stocks. They're called power stocks. So, but then I told my members on Friday, I said, and again this morning before the market opened, I said, they do this all the time. There's going to be a short squeeze rally. We had a short squeeze rally in January 2022, July 2023. These are all new highs. And then January 2023. And each one of those times, the same thing. When you make a new high, everybody believes the market's never going to come down again because the fake business news network gets on there and says that. And then you get what we call the tourist investors jump in and they start buying at the top. They always buy at the top of the market. The market makers know that. They'll start a short squeeze. Stock starts going up like this morning, and everybody jumps on, and then they get killed. And after 2 or 3 days, they starts retracing back either 4, 5%, 7%, or could retrace back in a crash, although I don't think it's going to be a crash until March. But anyways, so let's go back to what happened here. So the market's been going sideways. If you look at the S&P has been going sideways for a long time. And once we had that rally, the S&P stopped right around, I think it was right around December 19th. And as you're just going sideways, not going anywhere at all. I think the high stayed right around 477, and the low was around 463, and that's pretty much stayed that way from about December 13th to we just had the rally on Friday. So that was quite a consolidation. It kept going sideways. So what we kept doing, the stocks that broke out and other stocks that are power stocks, I said, just stay with those power stocks. You've got to only be in stocks where you don't have a bunch of sellers above you. And so if we did get a breakout, we'd be in good shape. That's what happened. Now, the problem is this. There's a tremendous overhang, a bunch of clouds. This is the first time we ever had a breakout in the S&P. At the same time, you had a divergence in IWM. What's that mean? It means the small mid-cap stocks is the blood, the guts, the heart of the stock market, small mid-cap guys. First time the S&P ever broke out and IWM, small mid-cap guys, were trending lower. That is hugely negative, hugely negative. Now, the most feared red flag is an inverted yield curve. And we still have that. The inverted yield curve is the most dangerous. Because when you have both short and long-term bonds going up at the same time, there's nothing more dangerous than that. Because what it does, it destroys the bank's profits and their balance sheet at the same time, i.e. what happened to Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic, and Signature. We still have that over our head. That hasn't been fixed yet. It didn't keep us out of the stocks. We still were in these stocks, but remember when we bought these stocks, like I said, the S&P, we bought the stocks, the S&P back in November. The other problem that we have is the money supply. What a contraction. In fact, you probably can't see, if you're following me on my website, you can see it. I'll put it up. On YouTube, you can see it right here. We have a tremendous contraction in money supply. We never had money supply contracting like this. Now, what does that mean? That's very dangerous. It's telling you that, remember, QE in 2008, $8 trillion, about $22 trillion actually, but let's use the $8 trillion for now, just in the stock market. They pour all kinds of money into the stock market. And they push up they can do stock buybacks artificially for 14 years, push the stock market up, the Q's up 1,200%, and the S&P up 650%, all artificial, no profits, just keep stock buybacks. But they put so much money in, it caused tremendous inflation because the money wasn't used for productivity. Obama lied to us and Bernanke when they started putting all that money in. They said, oh, no, it's not going to be inflationary because what we're going to do is take that money, give it to businesses. And we're going to have tremendous business investment, new job creation, and it's all going to trickle down to Main Street. It's a bold-faced lie. There's no business investment. It all went to QE. So as of today, the money supply, all that growth, they can't get it out. They're trying to get it out, and it's keeping the inflation. So the money supply contraction is very dangerous. Because why? Because in trying to get this money supply out to get inflation down, remember, we've been at zero rates, too low for too long. But now what's going on is that they're tightening credit. That means they're increasing interest rates. You can see them every day. It's causing increased unemployment. It's reducing business investment, reduces consumer spending, and it's slowing our economic growth. And banks, remember what they do, these gangsters, what they're doing at the same time is they're giving savings on their savings account like 0.05%, 0.5%. And what they do, this is when you know the banks are in trouble, they take the money, they don't lend it, so they pay you, the saver, 0.5%, then they take the money and they put it into the repo facility where they get 5.2%. That tells you the banks are in deep trouble. The next problem you got, again, we have negative breath. Negative breath. The worst breath. 5 out of 500 stocks is what broke this market out. That's it. And Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, those are the three stocks that really broke this thing out, other than Apple. Okay, Apple started it. but Apple didn't make a new high. It started. They came up and rigged a. They came out and said that they upgraded them. They had to have something. They had to have something to start this thing. Microsoft and Meta and NVIDIA all made new highs. But remember, we bought Microsoft in October and January 10th, Meta in December and January 10th, and NVIDIA November and January 10th. And then we bought JP Morgan October, and then we bought it again in, I think it was, I'm not sure, I think it was January. So the point is, right now, is all of this rally we had on Friday, enjoy it. If you got in early, take profits, but don't get in now unless you get a pullback and then a new high.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you start making money, please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in a down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this. But it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
To be a successful investor, You need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grande and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grande and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, listen to this. As long as you understand that we have the most feared red flag is the inverted yield curve. Even though we have money supply contraction, even though we have rising rates. Just take a look at the 10-year. Take a look at it. Even though we have the worst breath, are you kidding me? Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, and Apple, those are the only four stocks that create this whole rally on Friday from the tech side, and JP Morgan, GE. And even though we have all of those concerns, the market still can be engineered to go up. They've been engineering the market to go up since 2008. They put in over $22 trillion to push the market up. And they can do it again. The only thing is we're going to have more and more and more inflation. So make sure you stay with the stocks that we call power stocks, or just join our gang. And you could be with us in the power stocks. And another thing I didn't tell you about, we also got, when you look at the 10-year Treasury and you look at the Wilshire 5,000, that's your broad market, every time when that 10-year Treasury yield goes up, interest rates go up, the market falls. Just go and pick up the chart. You can see it. I have it right here. Look at my 2008 chart. As soon as the 10-year Treasury yield went up, we had the 2008 crash. And 2012, 2013, as soon as the yields went up, the market had a big correction. And then remember, we had that big correction in 2020. You can see it right on the chart. Same thing. Yields went up. That's interest rates. In the market, 2020 collapsed. And now, here we go again. Yields are on their way up. But they can remember, they still can prevent this from collapsing. This is what they've been doing. But the only problem is, the downside is inflation gets worse and worse and worse. And that's been their game, to accommodate Wall Street since 2008, printing all this money and screwing Main Street and taking care of Wall Street. And that's why everybody's struggling. So if you're in the stock market, you don't have to struggle if you know which stocks to stay with. And it's not hard. It's the stocks that are, again, have great relative strength and are leading the pack. And you should also, another thing, check the money supply growth. Get a chart, or just come to my site tonight. This is archived, and you see the money supply chart. I mean, it's awful, but nobody cares. They just think the market's just going to go up forever. Now, our power stocks that we've been in for a long time include the stocks that went up on Friday: Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, JP Morgan, and GE. We also have Visa. That's doing terrific. We have Meta. That's a power stock making new highs. We have Google. We have Home Depot. We have Costco. And then we have T-Mobile. And then we have a super micro computer, symbol SMCI. That took off like a crazy, man. We got in that, I don't know where we got in. I think we got in around 3.25, and now it's already up to 449. That went nuts. In 2 days, that thing just went crazy. 35%, but I'd be taking profits. But most of my members know and knew before this rally, okay, to get in early or make sure you're buying these stocks, okay, these power stocks, they got to have a specific pattern. You got to have a specific pattern. And then you adjust your stops. I mean, look, you can make money with a market that's overbought as long as you know how to protect yourself and you understand what's going on and you don't listen to these people. Listen to what he says, Bernstein, right? Listen to this.
Consumer sentiment has improved.
It hasn't improved. This guy, Bernstein, is probably one of the biggest liars. Matter of fact, I think somebody went after him. Listen, this guy's the biggest liar in the White House.
You look at somebody like Jared Bernstein, who is the CEA chair now, who's basically, their big argument is trying to say the economy is really great because they want to convince voters that things are great and to reelect their candidate.
Yeah, and he's a liar. Now, if you go and take a look at what's going on, take a look at the headwinds. Take a look at the headwinds. I mean, my God. We have auto credit card delinquencies increased more than any other 15-year period. Main Street increased dependency on the debt resolution program, up 119% since 2022. People had to take advantage of buy now, pay later. Increased 42% since 1922 to 23. The rich are getting richer. The poor are getting poorer. 2022 to 23. And so again, you have consumer spending. People are spending more than their income. More than their income. So what they're doing here, this last report that came in, income was up 0.03%, but spending's up 0.07. So people are spending twice as much as their income. Why? Because they can get credit. They can get credit. Wages, payroll, employment, okay, is half of what it was in 2022. I mean, you can just go down the line here. Credit card debt, bankruptcies. Look at the bankruptcies. Those are flying. But this guy's not going to tell you the truth. It's an election year. And still, now, even after Biden's been in office since 2021, gasoline's still up 37%, groceries still up 20%, used autos up 25%, rents up 20%. But yet he'll come out and lie, and they'll say this.
2/3 of young Americans say they are satisfied with their finance.
If they're satisfied with their finance, it means they have room on their credit card. That's what it's saying. They got room on their credit card. That's what they're satisfied with. Because why? Because remember, in November, right before Black Friday, they increased the credit availability on credit cards $450 billion. So people could go spend. All they want to do is, and remember, here's the real problem. We are supposed to have the Senate, House, and Banking Committee. They're supposed to watch out for the folks, for the people. And they don't. They don't. And the Senate, House, and Banking Committee is supposed to monitor all this stuff. And they don't. And it's about, and Senate and Banking Committee, remember, is all about keeping our economy on a sound footing. They're supposed to be focusing on inflation and our working and middle class people. That's their job. That's the Senate and House Banking Committee. So their job, keep us on a sound footing, focus on inflation, focus on the working middle class folks, the families, and their investments, and monitor those investments, protect those investments, so they can benefit from them. But they don't, because they're not on your side. So, as I said, the stock market is a wonderful thing if you just stop listening to all these people that tell you buy something based on fundamentals. If you use a chart, and we'll work with you for 10 days and show you and prove it. A chart is a wonderful thing. Our charts are wonderful because we designed them ourselves, because it follows the cash. And that's where the truth is, in the cash. Where's the cash going? Is it going to NVIDIA? Is it going to Meta? Is it coming out? And that's how you buy stocks. If you do that, and you say, you know what, I'm only going to buy stocks that are making new highs, then just stay with this rally as long as you can until we have the crash, which we will have, believe me, big time.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago, it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
The holiday season is a wonderful time to be with family and friends, and a good time to learn how to improve your investing strategies in the new year. Phil Grande at philsgang.com can help. Join Phil's Gang and enjoy coffee talk as Phil goes over the markets every morning before they open. Engage in live trading classes. With the Working Investor Program, you'll have access to the tools to control your financial future. Success in the new year is just a click away. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Now, I want to make clear when I say that our gang is Microsoft 22%, Nvidia 20%, JP Morgan 14%, GE 13%, Spiders up 10%. These are the stocks that broke out on Friday. What I'm saying is I don't know what each gang member makes, but if they entered these stocks using our color-coded chart where it gives them the buy signal, that's the rate at which you would have a return. Now, not everybody gets in exactly at the buy signal. So even if you're in JP Morgan, it made 7%, or Microsoft's at 22%, you made 12%. It doesn't make any difference as long as you stay with your same stocks and you continue to oversee these stocks and make sure you're buying them when they have relative strength. Make sure you're buying them when they're breaking out. Again, the only stocks that we're going to buy that are really dogs, oil. Last time we bought oil, I told my members, wait till the barrel price of oil drops 35%, because I was in the oil business. And I said, when it drops around 35%, all the retail guys go out and they buy oil everywhere and fill their farm tanks up. Okay, or their tanks, we call them. And they always do that when you get about a 35% discount. Sure enough, they did. We got a beautiful return, I think 25%. Now we're looking at the same thing. But there's also something else I'm looking at right now, okay, that I think could be a big, if you want to join us and work with us. I think another thing where there's a possibility is the Chinese stock market. If you look at the Chinese stock market, it is getting crushed. It's getting killed. Just the symbol is FXI. And FXI, if you look on your chart, since July 2020, it's been getting crushed. But we call this the 50% rule. So it dropped. Let me give me a number here, Willie. It dropped from from $30 down to $21, $30 to 21. So 30 to 21, I would say that's probably about, 22%? 30%. So a 30% drop. Now we use what we call the 50% rule. So you said what, 30%? 30% drop. So if we take the high and we take the low, now remember, the low's got to be established. But let's say it's established today. How do we know the low's going to be established? When it stops going down and you get 2, 3, 4 down days and it doesn't go down any further, it means the sellers are gone. So let's say that's today. So I would take the high here, an average high. I would take the average high of around $29. The low around 21. I'd split that in half. What would that be, Willie? 25. So what that means is from 21 to 25, that is a very, very easy trade, because all these people who shorted it, if you made $1,000 and you shorted it from, let's say, from $26 down to 21, and you want your profit now, you got to buy the stock back. You got to buy it back. And so that's why these stocks go up 50% off their low. They always go up 50% because it's short covering. And you don't want to buy beyond that because it's all called overhang. You got all sellers above you. So that's what we're looking at as well. That's FXI. We're also looking at our oils, as I said. And if you look at your oil stocks, use USO, great opportunity there too. So we're going to go after the dogs like those, or we're buying, as we've been buying, the stocks that have all-time new highs, because there's no sellers around them. No sellers. And all we wait for a day where we have good volume, good relative strength, and then we get a buy signal, which we call either W or V formation, and we get our color-coded chart gives us the buy signal. So those are two ends we work. Buying the stocks, and that's why when the stocks that went up on Friday, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, JP Morgan, we were already in those because they were good stocks. But again, remember, there's nobody looking out for you. The House, Senate, and Banking Committee, whose job is to look out for you, is to monitor your investments, they work for Wall Street. Think about what they've been doing since 2008. They've been increasing the 5 biggest banks, their reserves, by near 20% a year. What do they need reserves for? Increase 20% a year from 2008. What are you, nuts? And then they've been lying, starting with Obama, who say, well, we're doing that because what we're going to do is wealth is going to trickle down to you, to Main Street. Wealth is going to trickle because they're going to take all that money and do business investment. Bold-faced lie, and never put a penny in business investment. So this market is going to crash big when it crashes. And it's going to crash. But in the meantime, if they're going to continue to rig the bank to the upside, especially, remember, this is an election year, okay? Now, there's one hurdle they got to get over. Right now, there's a lot of hurdles this market has to get over. That's why the volume's not so great. They again, they're going to be fighting. We got the worst breath. I mean, the negative breath in this market. So 85% of the stocks are going down. Most stocks are under the 200-day moving average. That's why I said everybody was so excited about the big rally on Friday, and you only had you had 4 tech stocks and then 2 non-tech stocks. What kind of rally is that? So, and then we got a money supply contraction. So between money supply, we got the inverted yield curve, you got rising rates, you got the worst breath, and you got a crooked Federal Reserve. Are you kidding me? The Federal Reserve, they got to shut the Federal Reserve down. So, and make sure again, if you're trying to find a stock, okay, if there's 11 sectors in the market, make sure you're in the sector where all the money goes. Why fool around? Go to the bank sectors, go to the big tech and semi sector. Go to the energy sector. Our gold miners, we've been selling gold short now. Because why? Beautiful. The dollar has been going, the dollar's been going up, crushing gold stocks. Why? Because if you take the 20-year treasury, it's been going down. It's been tanking. So that pushes the dollar up. So we immediately started selling GDX. We started to sell GDX around $29, I think it was. And now it's around 27. We started short AU, same thing, and we shorted Newmont. Most of those stocks were probably up, Willie, about 7 to 10% return. So we're shorting these stocks. So as the market was going up on Friday, we were shorting these guys, and we were only buying. We were already in the stocks that went up on Friday because we were already in stocks that we call power stocks. Just remember that, power stocks. So go to my gang, go to philsgang.com, okay? Join the gang for 10 days. It's free. At the end of 10 days, if you say, I tell you one thing you're going to say, I wish I did this long ago. Because remember, during that 10-day, you're sitting with me, you're sitting with Stephen, you're sitting with Willie. For you to sit next to somebody, a professional, it would cost at least $2,000 a day. At least. Because why would somebody give up their day when they can make $1,000, $2,000 trading stocks? Why would they give that? They won't. And very few people could ever afford that. But our system, you're not sitting next to us, but you're on the computer with us, you're online with us, you see everything we're doing. So just like on Friday, when the market started to rally, step by step, they knew exactly what to do. Today, step by step, they knew exactly what to do. So you're sitting right next, think of it, you're sitting right next to a professional. Just like if you were golfing or you're a chef, you want to learn how to be a chef, you go and sit next to the pro, stand right next to him, then you're going to be one hell of a chef. That's how it works. That's how we teach. So try it for 10 days. Now, the last thing is, remember, these guys, like Jared, he's just a bold-faced liar. These people are just liars. Trust your chart. Remember, your chart is the best thing in the world because it takes all information. You don't have to read a thing. You don't have to read anything. It takes all that information in. And then at the end of the day, it'll spit it out by price. And your price is going up or it's going down, and you follow it. I'll see you on the chart. Good.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600.